And before I leave tonight, I promised you a very interesting exclusive with Prashant Kishore. Prashant Kishore has been strategizing the entire Bengal campaign for Mamata Banerjee, and he says even today that he's sure the BJP won't cross 99. In fact, he told me this afternoon that if the BJP reaches 100, he will close down his old business, give up political consulting and leave the profession. He has also clearly hinted at an inevitable re-entry into active politics. Here's an excerpt of what will be shown on The Nation Wants to Know this weekend. Why was Mamata Banerjee so nervous in Nandigram on the day of the vote?
But, you know, when you're fighting election seriously, then media calls it that you're nervous. If we are not fighting seriously, then you're calling us that we have given up, opposition does not have anyone to fight, BJP is the only one who is fighting.
She was nervous. She came out at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
How do you quantify that she was nervous? If her worker, her booth worker or booth in charge has been attacked, she went there. Any candidate would do that. Why would you say that she was nervous?
Into the cameras, she was calling the governor from the polling booth.
No, but
polling was held up for 3 hours. I mean, this is
no, polling was not held up because she went there. Polling was held up much earlier because the booth agent of Trinamool was not allowed to sit there. Because of quote unquote the BJP people, he had to run away. The polling was stopped. So as a candidate, she went there.
You're on the back foot. So
why I'm on the back foot again?
Because after the so-called leak photo.
Which leaked photo?
Leaked photo allegedly by IPAC. I'm saying
no,
allegedly by IPAC. Allegedly by IPAC.
We have formally denied that, and those who are creating those photos, they are not even smart enough to know that you're sitting in
that you don't use laptops, that you don't use desktops. I understood what your clarification was, but the fact was, let me tell the viewers what happened. There was a leaked photo allegedly by IPAC, which is Prashant's organization, showing poll predictions of the BJP taking a lead in phase 2 of the Bengal polls, and Mamata Banerjee losing Nandigram against Shuvendu. You had to clarify that the survey was fake.
Let me reiterate.
You had to clarify.
In December, I have said BJP will struggle to cross double digit. After 3 rounds of poll in Bengal, if there is anything, my conviction and my confidence is much more than what it was in December. BJP will struggle to cross 100.
That's the usual kind of statement.
It's not a usual kind of statement. I have even added by saying that if this turns out not to be true, I will quit this job. What I do. I will quit what I do. What I have been doing in the last 7-8 years.
BJP crosses 100. What will you do?
I will leave this space completely. I will leave this space. Let there be no ambiguity on this. I will cease to exist as political aid in the form and manner in which I have been in last 7-8 years to various political parties and leaders.
Why have you made it so personal?
It is not personal. It is
personal.
I tell you why. I tell you why. Because since the time I am doing this job, people who work with me, they know that it has been always my position that the day we are not able to deliver the way we want, we must not be in this space. The one exception was UP, where we lost it. In last 8-9 years, we have not lost a single election. Just for the record, we have lost one election that was in UP. In UP, as I have explained this to you in our last introduction, we think we were right in our assessment, we couldn't execute. In Bengal, I'm very confident because we think our assessment, we have been thorough and objective in our assessment, and we have been nearly clinical in the execution. So if after doing all these things, still we are not able to deliver, then we have got no business to be.
You're a professional. I'm
not a professional in my head the way you think.
No, not in the way you think. People are passionate, but you got emotionally involved in Bengal.
Yes,
why are you emotionally involved?
No, I don't have.
You are telling me you'll close IPAC. This entire organization which you have set up, you are saying you'll close this entire organization.
Prashant Kishore, yes, I will quit the profession, no doubt about it. And all I'm trying to tell you is that I'm much more convinced about my assessment which I made publicly in December after 3 rounds of polls, because BJP simply does not have the traction which they claim to be having in Bengal.
You're in Mamata Banerjee's ear. People say you're the one she's constantly taking advice from. Prashant, what if she loses Nandigram? Will she ask someone else to vacate a seat for her if she loses Nandigram?
The question does not arise Mamata Banerjee is winning Nandigram and winning it big.
Of course it arises. Shubhendu is a considerable... Shubhendu has been a very, very fierce opponent for Mamata. Can you tell me, as Mamata Banerjee's closest advisor, has she in her entire political career been challenged as much politically as by Shubhendu?
I think she has been challenged all her life. If you look at her first election against Somnath Das, she has fought much bigger elections. What he is fighting in Nandigram is relatively a cakewalk for her.
What if she loses Nandigram?
The question does not arise.
No, but the question arises. You also answered the previous question. You answered the previous question by saying that, equally by your logic, you are also saying the question does not arise that the BJP goes above 100.
Yes.
You have said, if that were to happen, you will quit this space.
Yes.
And therefore I ask you, even if you say the question does not arise, what if Mamata loses Nandigram? What happens then?
But then that question you have to pose to Mamata Banerjee. I can speak for myself. I cannot speak on behalf of Mamata Banerjee.
Are you underplaying the impact of Prime Minister Modi?
I'm not
BJP is fighting
anyone. I'm not underplaying anyone. But you have to understand, and your viewers have to understand one thing. If BJP were to win Bengal, or for that matter, any party that has to win Bengal has to secure close to 45% vote. Under the current situation, I do not see how BJP can get 45% vote. You cut it any which way you want.
To counter to that, did you ever expect that the BJP will get 18 seats and 40.6% vote share from the 2014 tally of 2 votes and 17% vote share? You didn't predict that either?
No, but I'm not in the prediction.
No, but you said that...
I'm saying, see,
you said
BJP has become a very big political force in Bengal. There's no denying of that. Any party that gets 40% vote in a state as big as West Bengal have to be taken very, very seriously. They are a formidable force, they are doing very well, but that does not mean that they are winning. You can do very well and you can be a very fierce opponent, but still you could lose.
Maybe you're looking at it mathematically. Maybe you're not looking at the undercurrent, which in a state like Bengal...
I'm looking at it from all possible angles which is possible for someone with my skills and experience.
So let me tell you, you're the political strategist, you look at the numbers.
No, I'm not
I am a trained sociologist.
Yes.
And I study social behavior. And one of the indications of social behavior is the presence or absence of political graffiti. Go around Kolkata today, on a scale of 1 to 10, if the graffiti, flags, balloons, signs, insignia of Trinamool is 10, BJP is 1, that for me indicates an underlying fear that even a BJP supporter, after 10 years of Trinamool Raj, will never put a flag on top of their house or shed.
Imagine. This coming from a senior journalist like you, I'm surprised. If we would not have had the flags and banners and posters and hoardings, you would have been telling that BJP has completely overrun Calcutta. There is no one out there who is willing to take, at least you are accepting on record that in terms of visibility, in terms of branding, in terms of popular
optics, it doesn't mean an undercurrent.
No, I'm not talking about, let's say undercurrent is in the minds of people who want to see it. But I'm saying, at least in terms of the way Trinamool is fighting, no one can find fault that we are not fighting it with all what we have.
You were fighting with all what you have. The left
despite
the left 2011.
Despite the fact that BJP has unmatched resources, they have money, they have government, they have everything going for them. Still, as you yourself has just put on record, we are fighting and we are not letting an inch
Prashant, you are fighting
without fighting.
But 2010, 2011, the city was red, the graffiti was left, the hammer and sickle was everywhere, and yet they lost.
No.
Yes, it was.
No.
I have come to Kolkata in those days. It was red all through till the tide turned in the election. No. So that was my question on graffiti. My question was somewhere
in Calcutta, I don't think Trinamool will lose even 1 seat. Forget about the undercurrent. In Calcutta, if we are talking about specifically about Calcutta Municipal Corporation, I don't think Trinamool is losing even a single seat in the city.
But the confidence is lost. That's why
but the confidence is lost in the eyes of people like you.
Not at all. In the eyes
we are as confident. Am I looking underconfident?
You always look confident, Prashant.
I have always looked confident, but you look at the result. In Delhi, the same BJP the same leaders, the same propaganda machinery, they claim that they are winning 40 to
Bengal
42 seats.
Bengal is not Delhi.
But if they could not predict Delhi, how are they able to predict Bengal? They could not predict
my own theory to Delhi.
But that's why I told you that I hope that Mr. Amit Shah has changed his psephologists or his data guys, because at least basis last 2-3 elections, his predictions were not anywhere close to what he claimed.
Your comparison to Delhi is wrong because...
let's take Jharkhand.
But you're not letting me complete.
Let's take Jharkhand.
Let's look at Delhi. Yes. I'm saying in Delhi there was not that kind of incumbency against Arvind Kejriwal.
How do we know? He was also an incumbent 5 years.
Not for 10 years, 5 years. 5 years. A. Okay. B. I believe that somewhere the Delhi voter, because the elections came 6 months after the national elections, cyclically had decided we'll vote for the BJP in national elections and Kejriwal in the state.
No, but these all analysis are post factor.
Then why is Mamata Banerjee attacking the CRPF? I'll tell you one thing which I find interesting. She says, I will suggest to my Mahila Morcha to go and gherao CRPF. Start gherawing CRPF. Wherever you see CRPF, gherao them on voting day. Why is she making these comments? No, she didn't say that. She didn't say that. Allow me to complete. She didn't say that in 2011. In 2011, there were helicopters giving aerial surveillance.
Just play
4 or 6.
Play her bite. What she said on the day when the voting happened in Nandigram, and in your own words, she was rattled. What she said, that I have got no problem with the CRPF people, CRPF Jawans. I have, in her words, she has problem in Home Minister dictating terms with CRPF and them listening to CRPF,
You are casting a political aspersion on a paramilitary force, which is...
No, we are not. She clearly said that it is BJP leadership that is controlling CRPF.
So can I complete my comment? I was doing some research. I found there were helicopters giving aerial surveillance. Mamta said nothing. 614 companies of central forces, 41 permanently posted companies. 2016, there were 75,000 central paramilitary forces ahead of the third round of polls. She never made an allegation. She welcomed them then. So my only presumption is, at that time she was confident, she's not confident now.
No, I'm telling you.
She's trying to look for alibis.
As a journalist, as a news organization, you would have realized by now that no matter how much central government is claiming that elections are free and fair and there's a massive deployment of central forces and elections are happening over 1 month and a half, 8 phases, under the pretext of what? That elections should be free and fair and there should be no violence. Look at the first 3 phases. Look at the last 3rd phase. Trinamool candidates, a female candidate has been attacked, chased, not once, 3 times in 1 day. So where are the central forces? So this question lies.
Shobha Majumdar?
Sorry?
Who killed Shobha Majumdar, the 85-year-old?
No, I don't
lady?
know. I'm not a police investigator.
She said I was beaten by the Trinamool.
See, such allegations and counter allegations could be on the both sides. Last night, Girin Nath Burman, he is one of the most respected Rajbanshi leaders in Kuch Bihar. In the night, in the late evening, he was attacked brutally. Pictures are circulating all over the West Bengal. Are we to say that who attacked him?
Yesterday morning.
Violence of any form, whether it is from Trinamool or from BJP, should be stopped. And the responsibility to do this is squarely lies with Election Commission. So they should be taking responsibility.
Yesterday in the morning, an ISF worker was repeatedly beaten. The video went viral and he was being told that you put complaints against Trinamool, and the video was there and he was being beaten black and blue. It was all over. It was shocking. Shobha Majumdar died. Women leaders of the BJP were fully assaulted in Papia, was fully assaulted. The video has gone viral. You see, you have to acknowledge the upper hand.
These complaints.
You'll disregard it.
No, I'm not disregarding.
You will disregard.
What I'm saying, in last 1 year, BJP has been constantly putting this allegation that their workers are harassed or
killed.
Killing is like, I don't know. I don't want to use the word because that's what they claim. The courts and the law of the land has to verify that. If someone is found guilty, should be punished. If it is the TMC guy, that does not absolve the responsibility or the culpability. But just to claim as a political propaganda that our workers are under attack, and just look at how many BJP leaders here are having Y plus or above category security.
Who attacked Dilip Ghosh?
I don't know, you go and ask who.
But your party spokesperson Riju Datta came on my program.
You think Dilip Ghosh is a weak person? You think he does not have adequate security? He's the state president of BJP.
You are saying strong leaders with adequate security should be attacked?
No, I'm saying if they are being attacked, then they have the machinery, they have the resources, they have the system to check and...
But when we speak to your party spokespersons, they say, who told Dilip Ghosh to go into an area where there had been a BJP Trinamool rally, and why will...
I'm not here to defend or second what the Trinamool spokespersons are saying. What I'm saying is the big leaders of BJP who quote unquote are fearing the Trinamool people on the ground are completely...
Okay, take a pause at this step and answer a broader question, which is that Mamta's got a feeling, and therefore we take it as Prashant Kishore's feeling as well, that the opposition must not enter Bengal. This is our territory. Any party entering Bengal will be called Bohiragato or outsider, and that there is some moral right to rule Bengal.
No.
There is a moral right to rule Bengal, which is not right.
As a political party, you would always like to guard your territory, if for the want of a better word. The question of Bahiragato is being overplayed. If Mr. Modi is fighting election in Gujarat, naturally he would have some advantage being Gujarati. She is a daughter of Bengal, and that message or that emotion is being played out. What is wrong in it? There is nothing wrong in she claiming to be the daughter of Bengal, because she is the daughter of Bengal.
I think at some point of time that rather than play the role of an advisor, that you would really get into it yourself.
No, I got into politics and I failed.
Why did you fail?
I failed. I have no qualms in admitting that I failed, at least in my first attempt, and I would have learned my lessons. I will go back, but I can assure you that this is just the pause. I will go back to it, probably better prepared, and do the job what needs to be done.
I like that breaking news.
What?
You just said that you're going to go back to...
Yes, of course I will go back as a politician. I'm not going to be the political aide all my life. And I have tried, I failed, and I have no problem in that. I would have made some mistake, or I would have not probably figured it out the way it should have been done. I will go back and again try. There's no harm in... I'm not scared of losing, or I'm not scared of defeat. I will go back and I will try.
When are you launching your startup?
No, I have no idea when I'm going to...
National or regional?
I have no idea about...
What excites you? What excites you? Having gained considerable experience and working with various players in different parts and demographies and geographies of the country, would you like to play that role more at a national or at regional?
I tell you something. A lot of young people who work with me, I keep telling them that if you want to have influence at India level, you have to give at least 10, 12 years. It's a continent. Every state is almost like a big nation. So once you... I have been 10 years doing this. Maybe if I win Bengal, I would remain in this domain for a couple of more years, but maybe not. I don't know. I cannot give you a precise time when I join and become a full-time politician, but I will.
Will you?
I tried, I failed, and I have no problem in admitting that I failed, but I will try again.
But would you do it on your own, by your own?
I don't know. If I would have known, I would have told you. I don't know the time, I don't know the platform, I don't know the modalities of it, but one thing is clear, that I will go back to politics and I will try one more time at least, if not more.
Well, that is very exciting.
Yes.
When will we hear that announcement?
I don't know. First, let me just win Bengal.
Are you anxious? Anxious?
No, I'm not anxious. Not at all.
Well, where will you be on 2nd of May?
Am I looking anxious to you?
Where will you be on 2nd of May?
I have not figured it out where I will be on 2nd of May. Maybe here, maybe Tamil Nadu, maybe in Delhi.
I wish you all the best, Prashant.
Okay.
You're an interesting player in Indian politics. Thank you, Prashant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just remain seated.